I always like to have a look at controversies, shall we say, when the dust has settled, and it's about time the dust has sort of settled for this controversy. And I wanted to have a look at things that particularly what's annoyed me about this, because SJWs have set a really dangerous precedent, and I hope soon this comes back to bite them, because I can see an alternative hashtag springing up and taking away something they may not like. Now, here's the thing. I agree with what the artist said, that the current Batgirl, the Batgirl of Burnside, I think is being portrayed. The cover is not... it doesn't go with the lightheartedness of it. So, you know what, I agree. I agree. If he wants to take that away, that's perfectly fine. One of the things that I think we really need to look at, and no one has paid attention to, though, is a lot of the what the articles of this have actually been saying, because it's really annoyed me, and no one seems to else to have said it. So here I am. All the articles you look at, right at the beginning, it mentions inspired by the 1988 graphic novel The Killing Joke, in which Joker shot Batgirl. Basically, let's first things first. When it says, let me just try and find it. Yeah, they say that Alan Moore sort of left it ambiguous. In fact, Alan Moore came out and has later said that no, the Joker never raped Barbara Gordon. And so you see them saying, "Oh yeah, they left it ambiguous," but then later on in many of the articles, they turn around and say, "Yeah, the Joker raped her." You've just said Alan Moore left it ambiguous. Here is The Killing Joke. I've had to pull this out because here's the thing. First of all, Barbara Gordon gets shot. Not the main focus of the comic. And oh yeah, bit of backstory and history. Back in '88, DC hated Batgirl. As far as she was concerned, and many of the fans, she was a holdover from the Silver Age of comic books, when all the silliness was going on. So they wanted to get rid of her, and Alan Moore did a one-off, and they decided to stick with it. Hence, she ended up paralysed. And what happened since then, right? This is an important thing to note. If you know that history and how much they really didn't like Batgirl back then, purely, and it's the only reason Batgirl is now popular is A, the fans have come to like her through, again, good stories written by her. And again, not actually Barbara Gordon as Batman, but other people have filled the mantle that have done, that have been better, more interesting characters than Batgirl. Barbara Gordon. In fact, Barbara Gordon got more popular being Oracle than she ever did being Batgirl. In fact, when they announced the new Batgirl series, that Barbara was going back to being Batgirl, I was actually surprised they actually allowed that. Because again, if you understand the history of how basically unpopular Batgirl was back then, you know why they let this happen. And here's the thing, in The Killing Joke, why people remember this, it's probably the only time we're really told the origin story for the Joker. In fact, as you can see, it was the Tim Burton liked it so much, that's why he went with the Joker. The other emphasis, it's not even on Barbara Gordon. The actual killing Joke is intended to basically show how one bad day can, you know, spiral out of control and you basically become mad. And that is what the Joker wants to do to Commissioner Gordon and Batman. He wants to give them that one bad day that sends them round the creek and turns them mad. And that's essentially what the Killing Joke is. Now let's get more sort of into the controversy. As you know, as many people have said, and then changed their minds towards the end of the article, it is left entirely ambiguous. In fact, let's see if we can dig it out. It's actually taking the photos. There is not a single reference to her actually being raped at all. In fact, the only time you actually see the photos are there. And basically, the Joker, from what you can see, basically looks like, from the way the photo is being portrayed, that he's basically cut her up. And then you've got, you know, the Commissioner riding through the fun house, so to say, basically to sort of turn him mad. And all this controversy, again, you've got the creator saying she wasn't raped. You've then got people going, oh yeah, they left it ambiguous. No, they didn't. The creator, actually, Alan Moore himself, has come out and said, no, she wasn't raped. And yet, oh no, this cover, you know, look, you know, you know, let's just read the statement. Right, my Batgirl variant art cover was designed to pay homage to a comic that I really admire, and I know is a favourite of many readers, The Killing Joke. It is part of Batgirl's canon. And artistically, I couldn't avoid portraying the traumatic relationship between Barbara and the Joker. And that is true. Now, I agree with that the cover doesn't match the current theme that current that the thing is going for. So if they want to, if you know, DC and don't want to pull the comic for that reason, they don't want to pull the cover for that reason, that's fine. But one of the things that, again, really gets me and annoys me is what he says towards the end of his statement. My intention was never to hurt or upset anyone through my art. Right. This is one of the things, if you go back in history and you look at some really famous art pieces, how they've upset people and made people angry. Think how many, you know, famous paintings and whatnot would have been destroyed on that merit alone. And this is one of the things I always say. If you don't like a piece of art, or it makes you angry, or whatever, so what? You know, that art, regardless of what people think, has every single right to exist. If DC don't want to put it on the cut as a, you know, as a variant cover, so what? I have a feeling it'll appear later on a different in a different cover, you know. But that's sort of my take on it. And again, the thing that really annoys me is a lot of people have said, you know, Alan Moore left it ambiguous, and then they've said, oh yeah, the Joker raped her, and I'm just like, what? How can you just change? How can you decide to pull a complete 360 with those comments? And it's not, and it's every single article. Some don't even say that. They just say, oh yeah, the Joker raped her in The Killing Joke. Well, unfortunately, Alan Moore even said, no, the Joker didn't rape her. End of story. End of discussion. People who are angry about this have have gone out of their way basically just to be angry over something, and are probably not even fans of the comic anyway. There will be no pickup in readership. These people have probably never read any of the new Batgirl Burnside comics whatsoever.